Okay, good morning, everyone. This is Karen, and my business name is called Inspired by Graham, and I'm here to answer any of your questions regarding Stampin' Up, myself, Inspired Daisies team, anything. And then once we're done our question and answer session, I will be making a very easy class. So we'll be using some of this Sale-a-bration paper, and you can see the stack of cards I just moved over. They're beautiful. And sorry about my glove. I just recently had carpal tunnel surgery, so I am on day 6 from post-op, so I have to wear a glove now. So that's awesome. I still have some bandages on my hands, but any event, I'm here to answer any questions that you may have. Hi, Carla. My hand is doing much better. I was actually able to brush my teeth with my right hand today. I would have gone face to face with you guys today, but I just can't maneuver the tripod and the camera smoothly enough, and I don't have enough grip with this hand because I actually have 2 incisions because I had 3 different things go on with my hand. So I had a carpal tunnel release, a trigger finger release, and I had a cyst removed. So I have 2 incisions. And the worst one is the one right in the middle of my palm, of course, because that's kind of where you kind of grip. So in any event, I can't carry anything more than 5 pounds. So what I want you guys to do is just ask any questions that you want to ask regarding Stampin' Up. I'm going to try to answer them the best I can. If I can't answer them, I will get back to you. Just email me that question so I have your email address so I can get back to you with an answer. I don't know it all. I'll be honest with you. I'm a very honest demonstrator upline for my team. If I don't know the answer, I will let you know and I will get back to you. So with that said, we have the mini catalog that went live today, which is really great. I love the mini catalogs. I actually love all 3, but it's very exciting when we have the January to April one because we're going through winter here in Vermont, and I do live in a very small town, and we just had this massive storm that just came through. It was a snow burst of some sort, and the ground was perfectly dead grass, and now it's all white within literally 10 minutes. And it's very windy here, so I'm hoping we don't lose power. We do a lot where I live, so hopefully I won't during this session. Okay, so we also have Sale-a-bration. So with any order with $50 or above, you can earn free Sale-a-bration products. We can finally show you guys the inside of these catalogs. But right now I'm here to answer any of your questions regarding Inspired Daisies. I did send out a email, actually 2 of them for my people on my email list, and ask them to send me any questions that they might have regarding Stampin' Up, myself, my team. But first of all, I want to go over some of the questions I typically get. And this information I'll put right in front of you here is a document, and I'm showing my screen is very fuzzy on my side. So it could be okay, now it's better. Okay, so you can download this from my website, inspiredbygraham.com, and it gives you a lot of information on it as to what I provide as a upline to my Inspired Daisies team of stampers. I have 3 different levels of uplines. I have my directs, and then I have my level 2s, and I have a level 3. So I treat them all the same. They're part of all the challenges that we do. But I want you to know, because there's a lot of misconceptions, a lot of talk about I have to sell, I have to present, I have to have a blog, I have to do YouTube, I have to do Facebook Lives. You don't have to do any of that. I began stamping back in 2012 when I had an empty nest. Our last son went to college and I needed something else to do. So I went to a party, and it was a Stampin' Up party in my local town. And he embossed the large swallowtail stamp, and that stamp is huge, and that sold me right then and there. Heat embossing is like magic. If you haven't tried it, I hope you will do that, because it just is like, it's amazing how you can take ink, you can take your powder, you can take a heat tool, and you just turn it into magic. It's so much fun. But I also want to let you know that there's always a choice in life, and it's up to you what you want to do. Back in 2012, I just wanted to learn how to stamp. And about 4 years ago, come this February 24th, I changed my mindset to become a business-minded demonstrator. Not full-time, because I still work. At that time, I was working full-time. So I wanted to run a business. I wanted to learn how to do that, and my upline has helped me do that. Do I do it successfully? I don't think anybody is 100% successful, but I try my best. And I have a great team, and I consider them my friends, my sisters, stamping sisters, everyone that I have met that is new to me, especially when we moved. We moved here where I live starting 8 years ago. Right around Thanksgiving in 2016. I didn't know anyone down here. And when I got my job at a Parks and Recreation agency, I brought stamping to the department. And everyone that I have met down here has come to either my classes, they're part of my team. So I love how stamping brings us together. You know, I didn't know anybody, and now I know a lot of people just because of stamping. Stamping also gives me a hobby, a business. I love teaching people. I love seeing smiles on their faces. But I have developed a team, and I try to help them the best I can. So right now we have a joint special. It's $99, and plus your sales tax. If you have sales tax, you do have free shipping. But you also have another choice. So with the $99, you can add on $30 in Stampin' Up products for free. So $125 total, but you only pay $99 plus your sales tax. The other choice you can have is $99, and you can receive the Glass Mat Studio, which you can't see right now because I have all this paperwork on it. But when I create the card class for you, this will all be gone away. And that is a value of $60. It's about less than 5 pounds, which I could pick it up, but I'm not going to try with my hand. But I find this, I've had it for a couple weeks, and right now primarily just been stamping on it and presenting. I haven't been doing any watercoloring, but that'll be coming up in the next few weeks. But anyway, also with your starter kit, you receive a free paper pumpkin kit, which is from the past. It's not going to be a present one, but at least you have a paper pumpkin kit. And with that kit, generally there's a stamp set, there's an ink spot, there's like ribbon or twine, embellishments, and most likely card kits, but sometimes there are 3D projects as well. So you already have some things that you can use if you're brand new to stamping from that paper pumpkin kit. You receive free shipping on the starter kit, and you will receive free business supplies. Now they send those automatically because you are considered a demonstrator, and they want you to have that material. You'll get free catalogs. You'll get free business supplies. I can't exactly remember what they send us. I joined back in a while ago. So, and it does change a little bit here and there. But Those business supplies, you don't need to use. You can pass them out. I would totally tell you to pass those out with your information on them because you never know when somebody would like to join you and stamp. I've had that happen plenty of times over the years. And then once you purchase your starter kit, your first demonstrator order, now you're no longer a customer. Once you purchase that starter kit, you are a demonstrator. And then after you place that starter kit order, you can place a demonstrator order and you automatically will receive 20% off your Stampin' Up order. Once you get to $1,800 in sales, either your personal sales, sales to maybe your friends, family, if you do classes, yourself, you will promote to Bronze Elite. And then you'll receive 25% off your discount. Say you're shopping this clearance rack. You want something off the clearance rack. Say something's already 60% off. Well, you can tack on your demonstrator discount and receive that product for either 80% off or 85% off. That's a super sweet deal. I joined because I was a hobby stamper. I had no supplies whatsoever, and I built my supplies over time. And I suggest that's what you would do as well. Let's see what else you will receive. You'll receive my welcome packet, which has a lot of things in it. It's going to be a general letter. I will include my ready reference, which is in the welcome packet. I do give that to all Inspired Daisies. And then if you flip the page, I printed this out for you, but again, it's on my website. I provide individual or group computer training on the Stampin' Up website. Now, the Stampin' Up is going through a huge change with their website on the demonstrator side and the customer side. We're still learning it, and they're tweaking things, and they're going to be tweaking things even more. But the best thing I love is the links or the wish list that you can create, because you can create wish lists and you can dump them right into your cart, and it's super quick and fast. I showed my team last month at our team meeting how to do that. Hopefully some of them have done that, but I did that last night when I was getting ready to place my order. And it's just so super easy, and it takes less time than just having to flip through catalogs or remembering item numbers. Okay, and then we have milestone achievements on our team. And I reward a lot of things on our team, and I'll go through them really quickly. We have a 3-month quick start, a 6-month quick start, when you become qualified. And that's when you sell your $1,800. Title advancement on any title advancement. If you recruit, if you earn the incentive trip. We also have the Golden Daisy Monthly Sales Award. And if your sales are $1,000 or more, you'll receive the sales award. We also have a Grand Sales Award, which is, oh boy, the Gerber Daisy. I gotta fix that. It's $600 to $999.99. And that'll be a different reward than the Golden Daisy. I think I changed those. I gotta fix that. But anyway, and then I'm always award my top 3 in sales. 1, 2, and 3, and I have a chart that I'll show you a little bit later on what I do for rewards. We have a monthly royalty pot. We also have year-end awards, which we just did back in, I think it was late October or November, one of those months. And then we also celebrate Stampin' Up anniversaries, birthdays, participation in challenges, volunteerism. So those are all things that I award our team. And then members also get a Daisy charm depending on their achievement. So depending on any of those above here, you would receive a Daisy charm. You also will receive my online classes and tutorials for free. I give that to my team because I want them to stamp. I want them to enjoy stamping. A lot of them are beginners, a lot of them are hobbyists, and I provide that free of charge. Daisy discount codes for my Creative Escape retreats. I try to have 3 retreats a year, and that would be spring, summer, and fall. The summer ones sometimes don't go because people are just so busy. But there's always a spring and fall retreat. They receive a discount. They'll get a code, and it's usually 20% or $20 off the price of a retreat. My retreats are generally, depending on if you're in person or to go, can range between $135 and $150, for instance. We have virtual team meetings once a month, and they're usually the second Wednesday of the month from 7 p.m. until about 8:30, and we do that on Zoom because most of the team, with the exception of probably a handful, are local to me. Most everybody goes on Zoom. Team meetings are not required. I love to see faces though appear, but they're not required whatsoever. We just started about maybe 10 months ago, a team crafting together. So usually it's the last day of the month, give or take, depending on holidays. And we craft for an hour. A lot of times we don't even craft, we just socialize and have a lot of fun. What else do we do? We have a stamper of the month. It's always optional. And when I first started doing this, I put everyone's name in a hat, or a bowl or china dish, actually. I have that right here, and these are the ones that are left. So I do a drawing, and for instance, I'll just shuffle this up, and I'll pick this up, and Barbara would be our next one to participate. She doesn't have to do that. It's up to her. But at the next team meeting, they would make or show something that they have, they make live, or they would show something that would made previously, or a 3D project, or talk about something that they have created. Now, if they're too shy to do that, we have had people mail them to me, and I will present for them. And some people don't want to do it at all, and that's okay. If they don't want to do it, well, then I'll do that month for the team. But I would like to give everybody a chance to be the stamper of the month. Weekly challenges followed by a random participating drawing. Debbie is the one that does that every single week for us. She'll post a challenge. Usually it's either Saturday night or Sunday morning. She does a drawing, and whoever wins will receive something from me. It's on those challenges, it's usually a handmade gift, and it could be anything. I've sent out journals, cards, notebooks, twisted headbands that I've crocheted. If you haven't received one of those from my team, you might in the next month or two. So anything that I have made over time. We also do team swaps once in a while. I can say that team swaps aren't huge on my team, honestly. I wish they were, because they are super fun. I do participate in challenges or team swaps with the Creating Success group. And I just sent my swap cards to Jennifer, who lives in the Midwest. And in another week or so, she's going to be sending me 21 cards that I will showcase to my team, and also I'll showcase live on one of my lives that I do. We could have sketch challenges, color challenges, techniques, and we have so much more to share. Everyone has something to share. Have I met every single person on my team? Absolutely not. There's some that I have never even spoken to, like on the phone or what have you. And I give them the choice. They don't need to, they don't have to feel any pressure on our team whatsoever. I let them lead that. So a little about me, and I always have that on here. I put on an updated photo on the website last night. We take this picture. I don't know if you can see it or not. It's beautiful. This is my oldest son, and Max and Avery's property. They live in Connecticut, and down below us is the Connecticut River. This was taken back in October. But this is my family, my immediate family. I have an older son who's 33, his wife, Avery. That's me, and my grandson, Hudson, my husband. We've been married for since 1988. You can do the math. Finley, who's a 4-year-old and preschooler. And then here's my son, Mark, who's the youngest, who is on his 4th knee issue with ACL and meniscus tear. Poor kid. Right knee, of course. And he's the driver's education teacher in Vermont. And then it's his girlfriend, Sarah, who is, bless her, a middle school teacher in math. So a little about me. Let's see, personally, I love to hike. I can't hike right now because of my hand, but hopefully soon I can do that. I do fundraising hikes ever since my mom, well, she passed away in June from Alzheimer's. So I always do a hiking fundraiser every single year. I have hiked the Vermont Long Trail end to end. That's 272 miles. That's my first ever backpacking trip. And then most recently, this year, I have hiked Connecticut and Massachusetts Appalachian Trail all together, and that was 140-ish miles, 50 miles. And between the two hikes, I have raised almost $3,700 to help the Alzheimer's Association to hopefully find a cure very soon. You can also find me hiking. My favorite hiking trail is Camel's Hump in Vermont. And I always like to hike the White Mountains in New Hampshire. And me and my hiking partner, Sarah, have summited together 19 of the 48 4,000 footers. So we are trying to get to that end of 48 at some point. My goal someday is to through hike the entire Appalachian Trail. I know some of you watching are on my team, and yep, you just heard it from me. All right, so let's see what else. If you want to hear anything from my team, I also asked them to put together a testimonial. And that question was, why did you join Stampin' Up? And I have comments from Teresa, Debbie, Barbara, Jody, Louise, and Carol, Lynn, and Christine. So if you would like to read those, I'll just maybe read a couple of them. Let's see, is Carla, I don't know if I got one from Carla, but Debbie, she's here watching. I started because I wanted the discount. And that's another reason why I started, is because I wanted the darn discount, right? Why? I don't like to pay retail. I don't think anybody wants to pay retail. So I challenge you to try Stampin' Up. There's no pressure whatsoever to join or sell or anything. You are your best customer. That's what I tell all of my team members. A couple of them do classes, but on the most part, they're all their best customers, saving the 20 to 25% discount. Let's see, what is another one? Here's one from Jody. Jody does teaches some she does some classes here and there. And she says, why did I join Stampin' Up? Support my habit, as I'm addicted to their products. Their paper is amazing quality, and I use it the majority of the time for both scrapbooking and card making. I've gained so much from Stampin' Up. I now love hosting workshops and card classes. I've met some wonderful people who I keep in close contact with, sharing our passion for card making and scrapbooking our memories. Jody H. Okay, and then Louise, I joined Stampin' Up to broaden my ideas for cards and learn a new hobby. So you can see there's lots of enough testimonials here from my team members. Where are my team? Where's my team from? What state? Well, we have Kentucky, Montana, New Jersey, Pennsylvania, Vermont, Colorado, Massachusetts, New Hampshire, New York, and Texas. So we are not just in Vermont or New Hampshire, we're all over the United States. We would love to add you to our list. Okay, so that's kind of what Inspired Daisies is all about. Real quick, because what time is it? 11:25. I want to make sure I have time to create that class for you too. Here is our milestones. What I offer for team milestones, member milestones, level 1, 2, and 3. This is I give to my team when they join. And sorry about that printing. My printer was kind of off there, but this is what they receive. It says everybody level 1, 2, or 3. Okay, here's the Gerber Daisy Grand Sales is the award from $600 to $999.99. And the Shasta Daisy is that Grand Sales Award, 1,000 or above. But you can see, for instance, that Stamper of the Month received a thank you card and a homemade gift from myself. When you volunteer or do challenges, again, you'll receive a thank you card, homemade gift, Stampin' Up anniversaries, an anniversary card, and a daisy charm. Let's see, what else? When you join, you'll get my welcome card, a daisy charm, and my ready reference. That's very helpful for new beginners. And then we got the 3-month quick start, 6-month qualified. You can see all of the things that you can earn with Inspired Daisies and what I have to offer. And then year-end awards will vary year to year, and I award my top 5 from the team. Okay, that is that. What else? We did have some questions, so I did email twice if anybody had any questions. So I did receive a few. So I'm going to try to answer them to the best of my abilities. And I just did a copy and paste from my Google Doc. You're welcome to ask any questions in the chat. It's there for you to use. So if I sign up, am I committed long term? Do I have to buy a lot? You are not committed to stay long term. You're committed to stay as long as you want to stay. So for instance, if you signed up today, which is January 4th, your quarter does not start until April, because you're starting in the middle of a quarter, well, beginning of the quarter, but not like on the first day of the quarter. So it doesn't count. So Stampin' Up does it the first quarter. So it's January, February, March is that quarter. Well, they start in October. Their fiscal year runs October 1st to September 30th. So October, November, December, January, February, and March, April, May, and June, and July, August, September. Wait a minute, I missed a month there, but you guys know what I'm talking about. So anyway, your first full quarter doesn't start until April. So you have a long time. Usually it can be up to 6, almost 7 months to make your quarterly requirement. Yes, there is a quarterly requirement. It's $300. And that can be in your sales. It can be a combination of your sales and then any sales that you make to either, customers, and they can be your family, friends, neighbors. If you have a class, you host a class, and a number of different ways. So you don't have to buy a lot. I started out buying, because I didn't have anything, I started out buying every single time I placed an order, I purchased an ink color, and I purchased the ink pad and the refill, because you need a refill, you guys. Don't go without a refill. And I built my colors up over time. I looked at what colors I like the best, because I feel like if you are working with things that you like for color schemes, maybe stamp sets, you're going to have a better time starting out. For instance, I'm an earth tone person. I love greens. My team knows I love greens. Evening Evergreen is by far my favorite color. Stampin' Up went away with that. I still have the color though in my stash, and so I'm hoping they'll bring that back. So I just kind of built my stuff over time. So no, you don't have to buy a lot. You just need to maintain your $300 quarterly requirement, and then you're all good. Say you don't meet that quarterly requirement. So your fourth month, after your first full quarter, of course, Stampin' Up! Will give you 1 month to make up the difference. Okay, I also keep track of team members' reports. They know that. I will look periodically after every month where our team is at, and I will let them know, because quite honestly, people don't look at their reports, and I just got to give them a nudge and say, hey, look, you need $50 more, you need $100 more, whatever. I let them know. And if they're very close to promoting, and I have done this a couple times, one of our team members is actually two of them are so close to promoting, one to bronze elite and one to silver. I nudge them a little bit because there's also perks when you, when you promote, like the bronze to bronze elite, you're going to get another 5% discount. So that's something to always look at. Next question, number 2, is what if I don't know how to have classes? What do I do? And then the second part is, do I have to do classes? So let me answer the first one. Part of that question is, what if I don't know how to have classes? Well, ask me and I'll teach you how to do that. You just need to communicate that with myself and I can set you up. You'll have PDF tutorials. You can use mine because you'll get those free. We can meet on Zoom. That's something that I have purchased and learned to do when we first started out in COVID. So I will help you do that and answer any questions that you may have. If you're local to me, I will even go to your event to help you along as well. I know it can be a little nerve-wracking. I mean, we've all been there if we have classes. I remember my first classes, I was scared to death. I started in a library in the local town I was living in, and over time our groups got too large that they kicked us out of the library because we were taking up too much of their real estate on the tables. So I turned those classes and I moved it to my home. So too bad for that library. But anyway, and then do I have to do classes? Absolutely not. I answered that in the beginning of my presentation here. You do not need to do classes. You don't need to run workshops. You don't need to do anything. You can be your best customer. All right, question number 3. What do I need to spend per quarter to be a hobby demonstrator? You need to spend $300 per quarter after your first full quarter. Again, our quarters are October, November, and December, January, February, March, April, May, June, and July, August, September. Okay, those are your quarters. So you need to spend $300 after your first full quarter. Again, it doesn't have to be all of your money. It can be orders that you, perhaps somebody just orders from you out of the blue. That counts towards your quarter. Say you want to stamp with a friend or relative and they can purchase one of our kits from the kits collection and they order that through you, that goes towards your quarter. So it doesn't have to be all out of your wallet. It can be a number of different ways. Do I need to sell to remain active? You don't need to sell, but you do need to keep that $300 every quarter. If you don't get into that, like if you don't, at the end of the third month, the quarter, you're short, Stampin' Up! Will let you know, and you'll go into pending. So you'll have that full month to make up the difference. I'll let you know as well because they do send me an email. But I'm not going to be on your back about it. We all stamp for any different reason, and there's many different reasons why we stamp. And there's many different reasons why we become inactive as well. things get in our way, health, medical, family situations, what have you. You want a break, what have you. So if you phase out after your pending month is over and say you want to rejoin, you had second thoughts. Well, you can immediately rejoin under me as your team upline. If you'd rather choose somebody else, then you'll have to wait 90 days. That's a Stampin' Up policy. But let me see if there's any other questions. Please put them in the chat box. I don't see, Debbie just says there's also a prize for those in attendance, and it's a nice prize. Oh, yes. So if you attend any of my team meetings, then there is a participation reward, and I usually have somebody volunteer to take attendance, and we can see by Zoom, or if somebody's in person, I'll let them know, and I'll show their face if they want. But towards the end of the meeting, we do draw one name, and then I'll send out a gift of some sort. So yes, we do that. Okay, let me just see what else we have. To answer that question about what was it here? Actually, it was about what I do, which is, let's see. After your computer training, if you want it, then I will ask, some questions. What are your goals? I set this up for every single team member. It's on my door here, and I will check in with them once in a while, asking them what their goals are. What's most important to you? Family and friends, creativity, accomplishments, home and luxuries, learning and fun. I want to know about you because that only helps me out. And then how can my Stampin' Up business help me achieve my goals? That's something I will work on with you too. So this is called the First Year Toolkit, and Stampin' Up does have this. It's in their print lab, and I work with each member of the team. If they want help, it's all up to them. We also have a demonstrator handbook that answers a lot of questions. What else do I have? This is something I created this year. We used to go with a calendar that was just one sheet of paper. But a lot of my team members want to know when I'm doing lives. So for instance, January. And some of these things are on here for my business. So I offer a free with a purchase that begins on the 1st and the 15th of every month. That's just a reminder from me. Every Tuesday, I provide weekly updates at 7 p.m. on our Facebook group page. And those are lives. And we go over the Stampin' Up weekly updates and also any kind of my updates that I have. I've had pre-order ends, and then of course we have the mini catalog and Sale-a-bration, and I ship the make and takes. I don't have any to ship, but I do have some to be picked up. So my team members will need to get in touch with me. Here's just a personal reminder. Actually, my aunt told me that she's not coming on Friday, but she's coming tonight. So I get to see my aunt and her son-in-law. I do YouTube lives on Mondays, and those every single Monday. Let's see, our Inspired Daisies team meetings on here. So there's lots of different things on here that is helpful for my team. They know when I have my in-person classes, which I have an independent living facility that I do classes for, and that's the third Wednesday of the month. And then I have my Parks and Recreation class, which is always the last Wednesday of the month. And then here's a reminder about our team crafting. So we have lots of different things on our calendar. So that has been handy, and quite a few of them on the team have said they really like that. So that's all I have for information for you. Of course, I ask that if you do have questions, please reach out to me. There's a number of ways you can reach out to me. Email is Karen@inspiredbygraham.com. And also you can reach me by my phone number, which is 802-338-7890. That's a text, or you can phone me, but don't phone me right now because I'm using my phone. And I didn't put that, hold on, I didn't put that on Do Not Disturb. So I just switched it. Okay, so if there's no questions, then I am going to start our class. And I'm going to start it from scratch. And all the products that I'm using today, if you're a beginner stamper, would be highly recommended to add into your starter kit. So remember, your starter kit is going to be $99, up to $99. Or if you choose option 1, which is $99 plus additional $30, you can receive $125 of Stampin' Up! Products for $99, or you'll get the Glass Mat Studio. So I'm gonna switch over here and bring in a bunch of stuff here that I have for you. This is my website address for anybody to join. Boy, this glove looks horrible. Sorry about that. At least it's kind of like a skin color, but I have to wear it. So I still have bandages under here and you don't want to look at those. So anyway, I actually do have a question, Nancy's Craft Room. When you run a class, how long are they? How many projects do you do? And how do you price the classes? Okay, so when I run a class in person, I have 2 different classes that are in person. For Parks and Recreation, it's always educational. So I have to, according to the department, provide everything, including adhesives and all that good stuff. That class is, for the person to register, is $16. It's very inexpensive, but it's educational, and that's the cost. And it will be, it includes 4 different cards, and they get instructions from me. A lot of them already know what to do. But if I have a beginner stamper coming in, then I sit with them one-on-one, or if it's somebody's friend that is stamping, a lot of times they want to work with their friend. So I'll just help if they need help. My class runs from 5:30 until 8 p.m. And then the independent living facility is runs from 1 to 3:30. So they're about 2.5 hours long. And both of those classes are educational, and I provide every single thing they need to create the 4 cards. So hopefully that answers your question. Nancy, if it doesn't, please shoot me another question. Okay, so what I thought I would do is, let me see. I wanted to use Sale-a-bration paper because with your first demonstrator order, after your starter kit order, you can earn free Sale-a-bration products this month and until at the end of February 29th. All of these products are as while supplies last. So you have to remember that. So what I did was I've placed a numerous amount of orders so far since we did the pre-order, because that's another perk of being a demonstrator. You get to order 1 month ahead of all of the customers. And I find that super helpful because I'm going to guarantee you there's going to be some products that will go on back order. There's a lot of popular products from that mini catalog. So that's another reason why you should join, is because you get things first. Anyway, let me go back to what I'm going to be using from the Sale-a-bration. So for instance, we have 2 different categories, $50 or $100. So depending on what size your order is kind of what you're going to get to pick out of the Sale-a-bration brochure. So I just placed 2 different orders, one last night and one this morning. And one was like, one was over 300 and one was over 450. That's because I teach classes. I'm running a business. That I don't expect to be your type of order. If it is, great, because you're taking advantage of your discount. That's wonderful, but it's not expected. So I was able to earn a lot of different things. So what I do is I go through the brochure and I find things that I like, me, myself. So for instance, that watercolor melon, I have not ordered that because that's not Karen. I love to eat watermelon, but it's not, that stamping is not me. Okay, I have ordered several packs of the Sunny Days 12 by 12 paper. I'm going to be using the Flight and Airy designer paper because I love it. I love the colors that they have chosen for this paper. There's so many different colors that we can work with, and that helps us as a beginner stamper. And I'll show you that in a few minutes. They also give you a chance to earn the Pool Party 5/8 of an inch crinkled ribbon for a $50 order. And also over here is the Cradled in Love. Let me just move this here. I have not ordered this stamp set. Reason why? I have stamps that I can use to make baby cards if I need to. They're not really popular where I am in my life right now. So again, I gravitate to products that I enjoy using. The Softly Stippled 12 by 12, I think I said that right. I'm just starting to add this on as my Sale-a-bration reward. I didn't know if I would like it, but once I saw it in person, I really like it. It's going to make some really fabulous cards. Also the opaque faceted gems, I'll be using that in today's class. The Most Adored specialty paper. And if it says specialty, that means it is special. And it's because they probably have some foil in the paper. This will make really nice Valentine's Day cards. So for instance, I'm creating 2 different Valentine's Day cards, one for Parks and Recreation and one for Independent Living. They will be the same class because I'd like to work smarter and not harder. Meaning they're 2 different customers of mine, 2 different groups, so I can offer the same class and not have to create 2 classes. So I'm going to be using this Most Adored 12 by 12 designer paper. It's got lots of reds and pinks in it, and there's some foil, so that'll make really nice Valentine's Day cards. And that's the theme for both of my classes. So I did start ordering that. The Heartfelt Hellos stamp set, yes, I have ordered this. I'm stockpiling this, meaning that I'm ordering this and some of the Flight and Airy paper to offer a class in March, because when Sale-a-bration is done, people are going to still want this paper. They're going to want that Heartfelt Hellos. So I'm going to create a class after Sale-a-bration is completed to do that. The Trusty Toolbox designer paper is another paper pack that you can earn for free with a $50 purchase. This will, it coordinates with the Trusty Tools bundle in the mini catalog. And then another one for $50 is the Jungle Pals. I have not included this in any of my orders because I have ordered some other kids, I call them kids, stamps sets that I'll be using that I kind of gravitate to. Now they're all very, very cute to use, but they don't have any sentiments in it. So in order to have sentiments in a beginner stamper, you're going to have 2 stamp sets. And then there's some dies to go with the Jungle Pals, and that is with a $100 purchase. Okay, and then also with a $100 purchase, you get the Softly Sophisticated bundle, which is a stamp set, and over here is in a Softly Sophisticated embossing folder, which seems to be really nice. I haven't ordered this, but it is going to be in my craft room eventually. And then over here is the Detailed Dogwood, which is really nice stamp set if you like to color. So that's over here. But I am going to be using, again, the Flight and Airy. And this is helpful if you're a beginner stamper because you can get some paper to work with on your first demonstrator order. There's also, I don't know if you know this, but check out the clearance rack. Because when I first started as a Stampin' Up! Hobby demonstrator, I ordered from the clearance rack all the time. Because that helped me put more supplies in my craft room to work with. Okay, let's see. Oh, Kathy, you didn't even notice the ribbon. Yeah, it's kind of hidden. Like I didn't really notice those gems until I saw somebody using them. Okay, so I decided to use Flight and Airy, and this is the paper I'm going to be using here. Okay, so I'm going to just show you quickly what comes in this pack for paper. Okay, we're going to go real quick. All right, so here's this one. And then on the back side is this like fresh freesia, kind of like watercolor wash. And you'll receive 2 sheets of every single sheet, but I'm just going to show you one for quickness. And then here's this one. And on the back side is this pretty image as well. And then here's this one, and they're very similar, right? But just different background colors. And then on the back side here are these huge birds. I was going to do some fussy cutting, but I can't with my hand. So if you can't fussy cut, then you can use punches to punch these out. Circle punches would work the best. And then this is beautiful too. I just love the pinkish colors here. Bubble bath, fresh freesia. And then there's the back of that one. And then here's some larger, like this would probably be a great scrapbooking page is my guess. And then on the back side here, my cutest cards class, which is free with a host code this first half of the month, uses this side of the paper. And then here is another pattern that you can use as card fronts or projects, bags, 3D, but you can also fussy cut these out. And I was able to fussy cut those out very easily before I had my hand surgery. But you can also punch these out too. All right, and then here's the nice back side of this one. Lost Lagoon is the color there. Okay, so I showed you the colors. Now, where did I go with the sheet I was going to use? I think it was going to be this one. Let me see. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yes. Okay, so that's the pattern I'm going to choose for the class today. And now what I do to check, so on the back of the designer paper is this card like stock piece, and it's going to tell you the colors that are in the paper. You can also get the colors in the catalogs as well. So then when I create a class, I pull all the colors of cardstock out, and then I will go and I'll find whatever color I think goes nicely with the designer paper. I just put it over here and I just kind of go over and what do my eyes gravitate to, right? So with this sheet of paper, see, keep going. There's so many different colors with this designer paper. Okay, so I'm going to create with the Garden Green and the Misty Moonlight. And I'm going to show you the cards that I made after I do these. And I used Flirty Flamingo and Boho Blue. It's the same patterns. And again, this is a very easy card class. This is what I would suggest for a very beginner stamper. And all the products you see me using, like the paper trimmer, you will want to have in your starter kit. All right, so I'm gonna move some of these things here so they don't get in the way. I'm using, this is the Glass Mat Studio here. And I put this over here just because this is a silicone craft mat, because I have lights on in my room and it kind of glares on the glass. So this is kind of protecting it. Okay, so here's my dirty paper trimmer. Sorry, I didn't clean this one. But I have 2 more on the wall. I don't know why I didn't grab a clean one. Okay, so for me, I love to mass produce. And I need a lot of thank you cards. After Christmas, I send thank you cards, and I hope you do as well. You can get the most out of your paper and have it look really nice with a 3x4 or a 4x3 pattern. So this is directional. So meaning it can only go one way. We don't want our bird sideways or upside down. So it is directional. I'm going to cut this at 3 inches. Okay, so let me just make sure this is all right. And we cut it at 3x12 right now. So I'm going to cut again 3x12 and then another one 3x12. Okay, and then our Stampin' Up trimmer is great. It can cut through multiple pieces of paper. So I just stacked up 2 of these, same size, and I'm going to just make sure the ends are good. We don't want them a little bit off. So now I'm going to cut this at 4. Okay, so then it's going to be 3x4, and there's 2 here, and again 3x4. I'm just stacking them up over there. Okay, so now I have another 2. And I'm going to do the same thing, 3x4. Oops, that one is not. Hold on, I caught myself. There we go. Now you can, if you don't want to stack these up and cut them, you can cut them single sheet as well. It just take a little bit more time. Okay, so now I should have 12 of these. Now I did say we were working with Garden Green and what was it, Misty Moonlight, I think. Let me grab that cardstock. Okay, so these are the cards, the colors I I took out. 2, 4, 6. Okay, so I am going to use a white card base, and I'm using our basic white cardstock. Let me start with that first. Okay, and this is 8.5 by 11, and I have 6 sheets, right? So we can get 2 cards out of one 8.5 by 11. So I should have 6 here. 1, 2, let's see, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So what I do when I'm mass producing, again, I will cut these, I score and cut and do that process first. Now the other ones I made earlier are 8.5 by 5.5. I'm going to make these different, so you can see a different way the card opens. So I'm going to score these at 5.5 inches, and I'm scoring this all at the same time. And sorry, I can't. I got to use my left hand because my right hand cannot grip very hard. So right now, I'm just scoring them. Now, whoops, I just used my right hand. Did you see that? It's part of my brain, right? It was actually, it's been a lot easier. Maybe 2 days ago, I wasn't even able to use my scoring blade because you have to press down to make that score line, and my hand wouldn't do that. It would just be too painful. Okay, so then again, this one. And this one. Okay, I think did I get them all? Maybe I didn't. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Now our thick white, basic white, is definitely thicker than our regular basic white. I like the thickness of the basic white that's thick for card bases. Okay, so now I have them all scored, and now I'm just going to, my brain is going to say, I'm going to cut them. Okay, so there's 2. Now, if you have a really sharp blade, you can stack 2 of these together to save a little time. And I'm cutting them at 4 1/4. Hopefully I just did that. Okay, you might have to go up and back. For me, I create a lot of card kits. So I have a rotary cutter, and I cut maybe 6 to 8 at one time. as a Stampin' Up hobby stamper, you know, over 4 years ago, I didn't have that rotary cutter. So what you see me doing right now is what I would normally do. Okay, sorry that noise, but it's a jet going over our house. Okay, so now I have my cardstock all ready to go. I'm going to put that aside because next I'm going to cut the cardstock that is going to be going around. That's good. The pieces that we already cut, which are 3x4. And I'm going to cut these 4 1/4 by 3 1/4. So this is Misty Moonlight. So 4 1/4, which is half of that piece. Then I'll just rotate this and go 3 1/4. And you should be able to get 6 out of one sheet of 8.5 by 11 cardstock. Now we're going to save this, and I'm going to cut this piece down to 1/2 inch. Okay, so I have 1 and 2 and a little piece. Okay, we're going to use those. So I used everything so far. I don't have any scraps. Okay, so now I'm going to come back here and I'm going to trim this one down to 4 by 11.5. I'm going to save that. And oh shoot, oh man, I just screwed that up. I was not supposed to do that. That was supposed to be 4 1/4. So hold on, Karen just made a mistake. So, sorry about that. I wasn't even supposed to cut this one. I was supposed to cut Garden Green. I think. Yeah, 6 and 6. So I want Garden Green. So I'll use that Misty Moonlight for my punching. So again, this Garden Green is going to be cut at 4 1/4 in half, the long way, and then 3 1/4. So I'm going to have 2 different varieties of cards, meaning 2 different color themes, I guess. One that's going to be Garden Green, and the other one is Misty Moonlight. So I've got 3 panels, and now I'm going to trim this down to 1/2 inch by 4 1/4, and another one. I like to use as much paper as we can because I don't like waste, because we throw it out. That means we kind of lost some money on that, right? Okay, so then we need one more. Let's see, which is right here. So again, this is 4 1/4. Turn it around, and we're going to cut it at 3 1/4. And we'll get 6 Garden Greens. So with the 6 Garden Green and the 6 Misty Moonlight, we now have 12 of these. And then I'm going to cut this strip down to 1/2 inch and another 1/2 inch strip. And then we have like 1/4 inch left, which we're going to use, by the way. Okay, we are done with our trimmer. Again, this would be on my starter kit. Now, the next thing, let me see what we've got here. I've got my silicone craft sheet. The stamp set. Let me talk about the stamp set. All right, so say you've got a starter kit. You're already going to receive a paper pumpkin kit. Most likely that paper pumpkin stamp set is going to have some imagery on it. So I always tell my beginner stampers to have a sentiment stamp set that is good for the entire year, 12 months. Okay, so we have that in the throughout the year. We've got Easter, happy holidays, birthdays, you mean so much to me, thank you. We have Valentine's Day, best of luck. And that could be anything, even St. Patrick's Day, trick or treat, for Halloween, and cheers to you and the new year. I just sent this out to all of my customers and my downlines, a card that I made for them. This stamp set's $24, so that would be in your starter kit. It's a cling stamp set, so it's already got the red rubber on it. Okay, so no need to purchase a Stampin' Pierce mat yet. You can add that to your starter kit if you wanted to, but it's something that you can get away with and maybe purchase down the road. Okay, so throughout the year, and then of course we need some Stampin' Dimensionals. That should be in your starter kit. I think they're $4.25, very inexpensive. And you have 3 sheets of 100 of the little dots or whatever you want to call them. And then you have all the edge pieces around. So these will last you a while. I just need 1 sheet. These are the gems that you can receive for free with your Sale-a-bration. They're the opaque faceted gems. And I think these gems work really nicely with the Flight and Airy paper that I'll be using. So that'll be my little embellishment. I've got the stamps on a C block. So I always let my team or my customers know that the most popular blocks that I use are B, C, and D. D will fit anything, but the C is, I've got C and D's the most, but then I have some few B's, but anyway, they're different sizes. I like, this is mounted on a C, but you can get away with a B block. Hopefully that's not too confusing. All right, a bone folder, which I didn't have in the beginning, so I'm sure I had that in my starter kit. And then I have some, let me just reach over here. I've got some paper snips, which are super sharp, so they're great for your fussy cutting or trimming off excess paper. And they do come with this nice little cap, so they are super sharp, so you might want to keep that cap on. And then, of course, I'm going to show you a punch. And does anybody know what my favorite punch is? I'm sure you do because I use it all the time. And that is, whoops, my double oval punch. Okay, it's going to work nicely with a thank you. Okay. And then if you want to go and get some glitter, the Wink Stella brush is wonderful as well. I think it's like $7, I don't know. Somebody can put it in the comments. I don't know, is it $7, $8, something like that? And a piercing tool. I have made these, so I'm going to use mine. But we also have the take your pick tool. All right, and now, oh, the glue. I'm going to use liquid glue. It's a brand new bottle, so hopefully I won't make a mess. Now you can work on the surface of the Glass Mat Studio if you want. This cleans up really wonderfully. You can put rubbing alcohol on it, water, whatever. It's not going to hurt it. It does come with a chamois, which I keep in my one of these cases that Stampin' Up sells. And then also, I have my Stampin' Mist. Sorry, this is like a hot mess here. The bottle anyways. The Stampin' Mist I keep on my tables, and you can wet this with either water, or if you don't have time to go to the sink and get this all wet, then your Stampin' Mist will work as well. Okay, so I'm gonna have that here because pretty much this has already dried out except for these layers here. So I'm gonna show you how I get that wet a little bit later. That comes with a Glass Mat Studio, by the way. All right, I just remembered that we have one more thing to do, and that is to punch out the cardstock that we're gonna be using in those coordinated colors. So let me find that Misty Moonlight that I messed up on. You would want to use your scraps for this. But since I'm a beginner stamper and I don't have all those scraps, I'm just going to work with what I have. So I'm going to use this sheet. I need 6 of these. Normally I'd be a lot faster on this process, but it's really hard to grip. And my dominant hand is my right one, so just bear with me. So we have 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And then we also need garden green, which I'll bring in here. If you really want to be super, super like inexpensive, you can punch out of your panel. I'm not going to do that because this is a double, but you could certainly punch out of the middle and use that piece because nobody's going to see that. But I'm going to use that full sheet of garden green because I have no scraps yet of the garden green. So 1, 2, 3, 4, this is 5. Sorry, this is really killing my hand. 6. I'm trying to punch with my left hand. Whew. Okay, so we have 6 of those. Now, basic white. With that punch, it's a double oval punch. So if we stamp on this paper and we say we stamp right on the edge there, well, guess what? Or up higher, you're going to have to go all the way up to get to that oval here. So what I recommend is you take your paper trimmer. Where did I put mine? Right there. And you cut a strip that's about 1 inch by, I'm just doing it the long way, so 11. So let me just cut like 3 of them. And I only need, actually I'm going to do 4 because I do have a harder time stamping right now. So that's just a bonus if I need an extra sheet. Okay, so the best thing we want to do is stay organized, right? So I'm going to put these over here and these here. Okay, so I'm going to do my stamping. And I'm going to stamp 6 in Misty Moonlight. And then 6 in the Garden Green. Okay, so I'm just going to put this over here. And 1. That looks pretty good. 2, I had to do a double take to see if that was actually Misty Moonlight, and it is. 3. Now I'm doing too much space between the 2 because that oval punch doesn't need that much. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then I'm just going to go over to this one. 6. You can do that. You can stamp it first, or you can punch them and then stamp. So I'm going to show you that was stamped. And now if we wanted to punch, I'm going to punch out 6 ovals. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 6. I use less paper if I punch first because we don't have that big gap in between. Okay, so that's that. These are going to be stamped in the Garden Green. So let me just switch my colors. Now, I don't want to contaminate my ink pad with the blue going into the green. So I'm going to take my little chamois here. I love this chamois. It's very thin, and you can see it's very stiff in the middle here because I don't have it all wet. And I'm just going to spray this. I got to do it with my left hand. I'm just going to spray it. My bottle's like getting on the empty side, just to get it a little wet. And if it's too wet, well then just kind of move it around. I'm going to clean my stamp with this. And it's all done. So now if you want to get that residue off your stamp, well, you can take some paper to stamp it off, or like me, if you're like me, I just use my shirt. Whoops. It's okay. It's water-based. It's going to come out. I'm going to worry about it. Okay, so now we're going to stamp our garden green, thank you, with, oh, this got wet. When I sprayed that, my glass got wet. So I'm just going to take this chamois here and clean it. Okay. Oh, I think I did something else. I forgot to trim down that Misty Moonlight. So I might have to go back to my trimmer. Okay, so that's one. When you punch out the cardstock, your stamping probably is going to be a little bit slower. Just remember that. Just because you've got to move it over, center it, and what have you. Did I miss? Nope, there it is. Oval's way over here. Okay. And then my last thank you. I'm so excited because I'm going to have 24 thank you cards just like that. And then I'm doing another session at 1 o'clock. If you want to come back and watch me work on a different color, then you can. I'm going to be doing another live at 1. It's 12:16 right now, so I won't have a lot of time in between. I do have to go back to the, let's see, that Misty Moonlight, because when I screwed up cutting, I don't have enough of these strips with that leftover. So let me grab my trimmer really quickly. And let's see, I don't know how many I need. Hold on. I think 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so I just need half of an inch. Oh wait, Misty Moonlight, Karen. I just need 2 more of these. And I think, let's see, I think that's all I need. And this has to be 4 1/4. Let's see, this is 4 1/4. Yes, just a little piece I had to cut off there. So that's 4. And then I need this little strip. This is the one that came from the original one. And I think I just need 2 of these. Okay, so again, this is a really easy class. However, if you need cards really quickly, then this is the way to go. All right, those Stampin' Dimensionals are going to be not next, but almost next. I'm going to punch out the thank yous. So I had stamped this earlier. So this is how you stamp or punch out something that's already stamped. Oops, got that stuck. So we're just going to line it up, make sure it's straight. And that one's really close, but we're going to get by with it. Okay, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And we have 1 more to go. Okay. So 3, 4, 5, 6, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Okay, I'm going to use this mat because that's got everything over there that I want it to have. I want to pop these up, and I've been showing you how to do this. If you've watched my lives, I think this looks better than just secured down with liquid glue on top of the coordinating color. So I'm going to lay these all out on my craft sheet here, just because I want it here. I want it visible close to me, so I can be as quick as I can be with my dimensionals. So I got a brand new pack of dimensionals, and I'm going to go through every single one of these and add 2. If you wanted to, for simplicity, you can add just one. If you want to be an extra thrifty crafter, but it might come off. So I would suggest putting 2 on, or you could purchase the mini Stampin' Dimensionals, which are really small, and still add 2 of them on and be fine. Or you can cut these in half, whatever you feel like. Edge pieces work as well. Okay, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So we have all of our ovals ready to go. The next step I would do is I would take my piercing tool and I'm just going to, pull these up. And this is harder for me, and I normally would be super fast, but I'm right hand dominated, so it does slow me down, this step. So just bear with me here. And my glove is catching, so I'm gonna just scoot these over so it doesn't stick to my hand. Hopefully soon I will be able to take this glove off, but I gotta wait for those. I guess they're called, maybe they're called steri strips. I'm not really sure. I have no stitches in my incisions, so that's what's keeping it all together, which I find hard to believe, especially your hand, which is, you know, not your cleanest part of your body, right? Okay, so we're getting there. Again, if you have any questions about Stampin' Up, I will try to keep looking at the comments, but I'm also trying to stay focused here with the class and getting this done on time. If we go over, we go over. That's fine. I don't care. You stick around. You can watch both of these sessions. I'm the only one in this house except for my cat, which I'm shocked that she has not come in here to say hello. She always, whenever I'm speaking on the phone, my husband's on the phone, there's somebody at our house, she always has to be in the mix, always. She has to come over and say hello. So shocked that she's not, but she's passed out on our bed. All fluffed up. Okay, so now we have all the dimensional backings off. Again, I'm mass producing. This is my mind set. All right, so now I'm going to, let me just take these off. Now, if I flip these over, that's okay, because guess what? This glass is acting like a silicone craft sheet, and they're not gonna stick. So let me just do that so I don't get these going every which way. I'm using this silicone craft sheet, which we sell, just for me and being able to actually present with this glove. Okay, so now I don't want the Misty Moonlight going on to the Garden Green. Okay, so I'm gonna find my Garden Greens and I'm just going to add them to the scallop oval, and we should be fine. It does look like I need to sharpen my oval punch because I use it all the time. And I don't know if you know how to do that, but all you need to do is take your punch and some aluminum foil and just punch the aluminum foil a few times, maybe like 10 times, and then call it good. I would use the thick aluminum foil because the thinner stuff, it just doesn't work really as well as the thicker aluminum foil. Okay, so I'm talking and I didn't make any mistakes there putting the wrong color on. So now we're going to switch over to the Misty Moonlight. And we'll grab all of those ovals that are stamped in Misty Moonlight. Oops, I pressed them down a little too much there on that glass, but they do come up very easily. And I don't see any remnants being left behind with the dimensionals, which is great. But if you do, the best way that I find to remove alcohol or adhesive for anything like my Stampin' Trimmer, my work surface, my desk, because I get liquid glue over everything, I use a combination, depending on how much is on my desk. I'll use either the disinfecting wipes, I use rubbing alcohol, the 70%, or if it's really, really bad, I have some alcohol that's 99.9%, which I purchased on Amazon a long time ago, and that works as well. Okay, so now we have all the sentiments ready to go. Okay, next up is we are going to take our liquid glue, and I'll go as fast as I can. It's a new bottle, so it should come out fairly easy. I am going to just add my glue around all four sides, and I'm going to take that 3x4. This is hard for me. Okay, 3x4 piece of Flight and Airy and adding it to the 3 1/4 by 4 1/4 Garden Green. Let me just add these here. Okay. And we'll just do that on every single one. Now, if you wanted the other side showing, I would use the Misty Moonlight. Okay, so if you wanted this side showing, that Misty Moonlight panel is, I think, the way to go because I think it would look really nice this way. Hey, why don't I do that? Why don't I just do a couple in that color so you can see the difference? So if you don't like birds, well, you've got some flowers to look at. Okay. So I've got one, let's see, 1, 2, 1, 2. All right, so I'm going to do another one showing this side of the paper. I love Stampin' Up's coordination. I think that is the #1 thing Stampin' Up is known for, is the color coordination. 2, 3, let's see, what do I want to do? Let me go back to Garden Green. I want to see what this looks like on Garden Green, which I think looks pretty darn good. Okay, so we're going to do 3 and 3. The other greens that would look good on this, of course, come from the color palette. We have soft sea foam, and we got a little bit of that Lost Lagoon that has a little bit of green in it. I enjoy when we have lots and lots of colors to choose from because oops, I put this, no, I put it over the right side. So if you are a beginner stamper and you don't have a lot of colors, well, this kind of helps you out. By having a lot of different colors, you can kind of pick and choose what you have in your craft room to work with. So I do really like that. You can also use, instead, if you don't want to, if you can't afford to purchase like all the colors, another color that works great with anything is our basic black, the Memento Tuxedo Black. That is another good option for you. Okay, so now I have 3 and 3. Okay, so we have 1, 2, and 3, and then 3 more of those. So that'll be 6 cards. And now let me finish out the Misty Moonlight. So we need 1 more that's facing the smaller flowers. And then we'll complete the next with the birds. Oh, where's the rest of my panels? Oh, you know what? Did I not cut those out when I screwed up? I think I didn't. That's why I had an extra piece. Oh boy, hold on. I just need to get one more strip here. That's why I didn't have those extra Misty Moonlights, because I didn't cut that second piece. So again, it's 4 1/4, and we can get three by a quarter panels. Another option, if you like to work with 1/8 of an inch, 3 1/8 and 4 1/8. Just have a little bit smaller border of cardstock. Okay, next up is just to add this. So we have the pretty birds showing and singing a nice little tune. That's one thing I love about hiking is, like, if I'm in the forest all by myself, there's no noise, no human noise, no street noise. All I can listen to are the birds. And the one bird I love to listen to when I hike is the oven bird. I don't know if you know what that one sounds like, but if you don't, you can just Google it. I swear they follow me whenever I'm on trail. Those and the chickadees. Okay, so now we have 6 of these, so 3 each of each design. So we just flipped it over. The next step is going to be to burnish all 12 card bases. And I'm going to use that bone folder, which, you know, I put in my starter kit. I just fold them and I just like burnish 2-3 times. Normally it's just 2, but since I can't really put a lot of pressure on, I am having to do like 3 times. But when you burnish, when you burnish, that helps that cardstock stay flatter. So if I just folded this and try to put my card together, well, look at this. Like, you can't work with that, right? So if you use your bone folder to burnish back and forth, now look at that. It's laying flat for you and it's much more manageable. Again, if you have any questions, please let me know about Stampin' Up, the Inspired Daisies Team of Stampers, myself, hiking, stamping. What else do I do? I love playing with my grandsons. Let's see. I'm not sure what else. All that snow I told you about, that like snow burst or whatever it was called, is actually gone. The sun has melted it away. And I can see blue sky. We haven't had much sun in like a week and a half to 2 weeks. And we're gonna supposedly have a nor'easter coming our way, which will be nice because, hey, we're in winter and there's no snow. I don't like looking at dead grass. Okay, let's get on with this here. So now you can, I'll show you different ways you can do this. You can add this strip here to the middle just to break it up. Okay, so I'll do that. So this is the excess cardstock that we had left over when we cut our panels down. And I am using every piece of designer paper and every piece of cardstock. So there is no waste involved in this card design whatsoever. And I'm just adding the strip, the bigger size. So this is a 1/2 inch in height. I'm eyeballing it in the middle because I'm trying to be quick here. You can also use the ruler that's on the Glass Mat Studio to help you out as well. It comes with inches or centimeters. Oops, that's a little too high. All right, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to use, let's see, how many did I do? 1, 2, 3. Actually, we need this one too. We need all of them. Okay, so these are going to go straight across. Whoa. And the other two, since they're too small to go horizontally, I think, I'm going to put them at an angle. That's a hot mess there. Okay, so what I mean by that is I'm going to take this really tiny strip, which is it's probably less than 1/4 of an inch, but around there. So it's going to be too small to go this way. So guess what? I'm just going to angle it going this way. Okay. So this, I was left with, I cut down to having 6 strips to use. Okay. So now I'm going to move on to the Misty Moonlight. I would say to fast forward this part if you're watching the replay, because you don't need to see me doing this 6 more times. But since you're on the live here with me, you're not going to be able to do that. So I'm hustling as fast as I can. Okay, there's 2. Three. And then, let's see, we got 4. And then 2 more. And I'll get these little tiny strips. And we'll angle them the same way I angled the other ones. Now, if you wanted to bump this up, say your a level of stamping is a little bit more than just a beginner stamper, you can add some embossed panels using our embossing folders in the Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. You can add ribbon, twine, die cuts, you name it. Okay, now we're going to add the panels. So I'm going to go Misty Moonlight to Misty Moonlight. And this is, I'm going to have to stand up for this because I want to get it kind of in the middle. Now, this is directional, so make sure you're looking at your pattern paper, the flight and airy, before you adhere this onto the base. And also you might want to make sure that your card base is opening the correct way. I've actually put on a couple times where it was upside down. And then the way to get around that is I cut the front off and just added it onto another card base with Stampin' Dimensionals. Because after a while, those cards that I get in the mail, if I've had them over a year, I keep them usually for a year, and then I will cut them down, cut the tops off, and use those, reuse them, because, you know, why not? It was handmade. And just add them onto a card base with our dimensionals. Okay, we got a few more of these, and then we'll get the garden green, and then we will be adding the sentiments, and then the embellishments. And then I think I'm going to just stay on because it's 12:40, so I'll be making another set of cards as well. Those may, oops, this is directional. I wasn't even paying attention. Maybe I'll make birthday cards because I need birthday cards as well. Okay, so next in line is the garden green. Sometimes I have to look at it. It's like tricking my eyes. So how many out there are watching that are demonstrators? And how many are watching that are not demonstrators? That would be kind of fun to see and know. Of course, you don't have to answer. That's fine. Or maybe where are you watching from? That's another good question to ask. I always like to know that. Once in a while, I'll have somebody internationally watching, which is super fun. I may not know how to pronounce their names, but I think it's kind of fun. So my next, so if you're a customer, you're not interested in joining, I do have a ordering special, which you will receive 4 card kits using the Cutest Cows bundle, which is another awesome bundle. And then after that, starting January, let's see, 16th, I am going to be having, I'm probably going to do a 3D, meaning a free gift tutorial of like maybe Post-it note holders or, you know, something like that, something different than cards. Because I am going to be participating in a craft fair in February. Guess what? Karen needs to have some products to sell, so I got to bump that back up. So probably going to get back into the craft fair mode pretty soon. All right, so I just adhered the glue, liquid glue, onto the back of that scallop oval. And now I'm just matching up these garden green. Oops, that's upside down. We don't want to do that. Garden green to the garden green panels. That one looks a little crooked. But see how simple this is? And I can't remember when I started making the cards. Maybe I've been at it for 20 minutes. Could be longer. I'm not sure when I started, but I'm going to end up with 12 cards at the end. Now, of course, envelopes still need to do, and I'll probably add some designer paper, coordinating designer paper to the envelope flaps or on the front, because just cut some strips down. Okay, we got one more garden green, and then we'll switch over to Misty Moonlight. You could leave your cards just like this and add no embellishments whatsoever, and it still would be fine. If you're worried about adding embellishments and it costing more to ship or to send in the mail, I would not worry about it. All you need to do is add a piece of cardstock on like the bumpy side, the embellishment side, and then it will be fine. Got 4 more. Oh, this will be fun. Let's put these side by side and so we can see the difference. I hate to cover up that bird, but I'm gonna put that in the middle. So that's those two. Those are pretty. Another question is, do you like the strip diagonal or horizontal? Oh, Fuzzy just came in. She's saying hello. She kind of woke up. She needs a little snack. Then she'll go sleep again. Okay, so that's it. We're done with the glue. All right. Oh yes, Debbie. You know I'm a demo and where I am, I certainly do. Debbie is my she's a downline of mine, and she actually works for me in my craft room. Okay, so now we have these, they're called the opaque faceted gems. I think every single color looks fine in this, this card. We have 2 different sizes, so I'm just gonna go down the line here and just fill it in. I look for little blank spots, okay, and make triangles out of it. So 1, 2, and I'll add another one up here. Let's see, 1, 2, and 3. You just don't want them up and down and straight across. That way it's like not really pleasing to the eye. Let's go with this one. I think this is Petaled Path, but I did not look. So I got 2 down there and 1 at the very top. And we'll add this color, which I think is Flirty Flamingo or Calypso Coral. What do you guys think of this easy card design? Is it too easy? Is this something that you like to do too, quick and easy cards? That is me. I am totally quick and easy. And let's see, we'll go back and add the blue. I think this is Balmy Blue, but you know what? Even though Balmy Blue is not in this, it's still gonna work. There's also some embellishments that are on the clearance rack. You can add to your starter kit. They're sequins and they're super inexpensive. Okay, so don't forget, when you're a demonstrator, you order from the clearance rack, you get your discount plus whatever Stampin' Up is asking on their discount. Okay, so it'll be either, say it's 50% off, well, you'll get 70 or 75% off instead of just the, you know, 60% or whatever they're asking for, or have it priced at. I love saving money, and another reason why I joined Stampin' Up is I used to do craft fairs. Well, I got involved in craft fairs after I started with Stampin' Up. And my grandmother did that. I enjoyed helping her, and I just wanted to do it. And when I started out, I purchased mostly from the clearance rack. That way I could maximize my profits doing it that way. And then I would also still have some, you know, non-retired items as well in my designs. But those cost me a little bit more to make. But clearance rack is always the way to go. Sale-a-bration works as well because we're getting free designer paper, embellishments. We got the ribbon. We've got these gems I'm working with. We got the paper. So everything I use today, I highly recommend being in your starter kit. And I think I've made some pretty cute cards. And if you wanted the Wink of Stella, I'm not going to do it, but you can just add the Wink of Stella on the birds, maybe the body of the bird. And it would give a nice little glitter effect. Okay, I think we just created 12 cards. So let's go through them really quickly. And then I'll show you the ones I made as samples on my, like before I came on live with you. So we have the garden green. I'll put this pattern in this pile here. Oops, I'm gonna take this off right now so I can use the whole glass mat. Okay, and then we have this pattern. So you got 3 and 3, okay. And now we've got the Misty Moonlight. I'll put these over here. It's like a deck of cards, right? Okay, so that is what we just made. Less than an hour, I would say. Now the ones I made earlier, let's put those out. I'm gonna move these actually up higher. I did not flip the paper. I just used the same pattern, but 2 different colors. So on this one, I used Flirty Flamingo. So I've got it going horizontally. Okay. And then we have it going vertically. So let's do this. Let's go like that. And we get this one. And then we have them going horizontally. Let's do this here. And then we have them going, oh, I'm missing a card or it's got stuck. It's somewhere here. Let's see, 1, 2, 3. Oh, I did 4 and 2. Okay, so there we go. There's 24 cards. Look at that. Isn't that awesome? And they're so pretty. Okay, any last questions before I sign off? It looks like I've got about 8 minutes before my next live, so I need to get a little, get set up again. So if you have any questions, please let me know. You can always email me at Karen@inspiredbygram.com. If you'd love to join our team, we'd love to have you. We are always looking to increase our numbers. And this is the joining link if you would like me as your upline. My demonstrator number is 222-9764. You can search me as Karen McNall or inspiredbygram.com, and you hit the join now button and then another button, and I'll get you right to the website of Stampin' Up. So I'd love to have you on our team. I know our Inspired Daisies would love to have you as well. I thank you so much for watching. I appreciate you watching, and I will be back at 1 o'clock. All right, you guys take care. Bye-bye.